Hey, do you guys like Mega Man? Because I sure do. I'm Mecha Otaku Gamer here, and I mainly like to talk about JRPGs, because that is my favorite genre of video games right now. But I also grew up playing Mega Man. I love the Mega Man games. My favorites having to be the X series as well as Legends. But there's another sub-series that's connected to X that I absolutely love. Currently, this is the only Mega Man game that I own, that being the Mega Man Zero collection, but I have played the ZX and the Zero Legacy collection, as you can see the trailer playing right behind me. Those are fantastic games, but I got introduced to the Mega Man Zero series via this collection on the DS, and today I'm going to share with you guys my kind of history with the Zero series, as well as a little bit of my thoughts, because I really do enjoy these games, and I'm so thankful for my good YouTube buddies, Pnxworld, who have kind of like sparked this kind of Mega Man, whatever you want to call it, like re-sparked my love for Mega Man. One of their recent videos, they were at a gaming convention, I think it was Southeast Game Exchange, hunting down Mega Man games, and I was like, holy crap, I don't really have much Mega Man games other than this. So that's why I'm starting off with talking about Mega Man Zero collection, and who knows, hopefully in the future I'll be able to talk more about the X series. But let's get started by talking about the Zero series, which is canonically connected to X as well as ZX. So, if you're familiar with the Mega Man timeline, it kind of goes the original series, then Mega Man X, and then you have Mega Man Zero, and then you can have like the Zero collection, which has all four Mega Man Zero games from the GBA, and then it goes into ZX. So that's kind of like the whole timeline, and then you got like Legends and Battle Network and Star Force, which are like offshoots. They're all kind of like their own separate timeline and all that. So I hope you guys will enjoy me talking about Mega Man here. It's something a bit different from RPGs, but it is from Capcom, and they do make some really great JRPGs like Breath of Fire, for instance. So that, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Smash that like button. I am very close to reaching my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I got almost 250 left. I feel like I can make it by the end of the year. So, with that, let's dive into Mega Man Zero Collection on the DS. Just to reiterate myself, the Mega Man Zero series is the successor to Mega Man X, which was on like the Super Nintendo as well as the PlayStation, and then you got the X collection on the PS2. And these games were all released on the Game Boy Advance and then compiled all together on the DS as the Mega Man Zero collection. And I first got introduced to the Mega Man Zero collection about several years ago when I got my very first Nintendo 3DS XL. It was a metallic red model that a good friend of mine gave me. And I was walking into one of my local GameStops back during that time, and I was just looking through the shelves of all the DS games that they had at the time, and I spotted Mega Man Zero, and I think I also spotted Mega Man ZX. I believe I had both of them at the same time. But with Mega Man Zero collection, I was like well familiar with Mega Man X and the character of Zero, so I'm like, oh sweet, so this is kind of a series where Zero's the main character. So I picked it up, and I started playing it, and I really enjoyed it. And now, years later, I could kind of see it does have some like RPG elements to it, but it is primarily a 2D side-scrolling run-and-gun platformer action adventure game, very mission-based. The very first game has Zero being reawakened by the members of this resistance group that is going after X, who has kind of like gone rogue and is like claiming everybody to have gone maverick, and Zero is sent out on these missions for the resistance to help them fight back against the tyranny that has been taking over their world. And there's also these cyber elves that Zero can equip that give him different stat boosts and different abilities. So very kind of RPG-esque in that way, where you can like equip different cyber elves that will give you different abilities and stat boosts. And the Megaman Zero series was made by Inti Creates and published by Capcom. Keiji Unifune, who is like the head of Inti Creates, he helped develop the Megaman Zero series, and I want to give a huge shout out to him. He did a fantastic job with these games. I love the cinematics that open up each and every single one of the Megaman Zero games. I've played a little bit of each of them. I haven't fully completed any of them, so yeah, I have kind of a rocky history with Mega Man. As much as I love the series, I haven't really completed many of the games in the franchise. I will definitely be talking about the ones that I have completed in future videos. So with Mega Man Zero, it is kind of a work in progress with me. I am currently playing it kind of off and on my current 3DS that I have. I'm very happy that a good friend of mine was able to give me his copy of Mega Man Zero Collection, because my previous copy, have no clue where the heck that went to. It's been years ago since I last seen that. I may have sold it, I may have lost it, who knows. But so happy to have these back in my collection for me to be able to play through and hopefully rectify the fact that I haven't finished a single one of the Zero games. But they are absolutely fun. I love Zero's new design. It is just absolutely fantastic compared to his iteration in the X series. Just looks way more badass, and there's a Kotobukiya model kit based off of this version of Zero that I'd also love to get my hands on, because I do love building model kits. And Kotobukiya made some really good Mega Man model kits. Just to go off on a little tangent there, if you have not built any of Kotobukiya's model kits, I highly recommend like the frame arms, as well as the Xenoblade X model kit, which I do have, and there's also the frame arms girls, and as well as Edgier, and I can't wait to get my hands on the Mega Man Zero model kit. So back with Mega Man Zero Collection, it is one of my goals this year to finish each and every single game in here, and I may even do a full follow-up retrospective type video of the entire Mega Man series, where I go more in depth into each and every single one of the games. I really love the beautiful 2D sprite artwork in this game. I've also played the ZX Zero Legacy Collection, where it's kind of a slight remaster that has been ported onto Nintendo Switch and PS4. So if you do not have a DS or a 3DS, definitely try picking up that. That way you can play through all the Mega Man Zero games. They're pretty short. I think they're roughly between 4 to 6 hours long. About the same length as a typical Mega Man game, but they are a little bit more story heavy, and as well as like a little bit off the traditional Mega Man gameplay layout, where you like select a boss stage in any certain order. And this game, it's more like mission based. You have more levels, more missions, more bosses, but the levels and the missions are a little bit shorter, but it's still a heck ton of fun. Megaman Zero has, well, Zero himself also has his trusty Z-Saber, as well as this like machine pistol blaster thing as his main weapons, and then equipping the Cyber L's will allow him to have different abilities. And I think there's other weapons that do become more available to him in some of the later games. I am not 100% sure on that, so please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section down below. And speaking of the comments, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Megaman Zero games. If you guys have played them, I would love to talk more about Mega Man with you guys in the future. It is one of my all-time favorite series growing up. I started Mega Man with Mega Man Legends, and then I got into the X series. And then from then on, it's just been history from there in the making. I still haven't played any of like the really older Mega Man games, the originals from the NES. That's another thing I need to change. I definitely should be playing those games as well, since I claim to be a huge Mega Man fan, and it's starting to make me sound like I'm not, but trust me, I am. I do love Mega Man. I grew up with this series. I still will forever love Mega Man regardless of what happens. If Capcom just decides to never make a new game ever again, I will still be there supporting the franchise. And I even love the spiritual successor being Azure Striker Gunvolt. That I can't wait to share my thoughts on those games in another video coming up possibly soon. Who knows? So that's going to be it for me talking about the Mega Man Zero collection on the DS. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Mecha Otaku Gamer, signing out. Peace!